Our body is made up of very intricate systems that work together with each other, while not interfering with each other's tasks. Much of it is due to strong barriers of cells that separate all the different systems. Our gut has some important tasks going on in there all the time. If the walls of the gut are breached, then the whole body feels the impact. Much like when a dam breaks down, the whole town gets flooded. Well, your body won't get flooded, but it sure can cause problems for you. In this video, we're gonna look at the leaky gut syndrome, what it's all about, and 5 symptoms that can tell whether you are suffering from it or not. Also, we're gonna share with you some proven tips to recover from a leaky gut should you have it. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. What is a leaky gut? To understand the leaky gut, imagine a balloon full of water. What would happen if you made holes in it with a needle? The water would gush out of those holes, right? Similarly, our gut has a lot going on in it. There are the undigested food items that are being digested. There are the gut bacteria that are primarily fermenting undigested food. There is toxic stuff like harmful acids, toxins, germs, etc. So when the gut wall gets punctured, all of this nasty stuff that was being kept at bay would ultimately be expelled into the bloodstream. Bloodstream? But you were talking about the gut. I can almost hear you saying this. Let's take it from the top. For starters, the undigested food gets digested in the gut, where it is turned into fatty acids and gases that are then absorbed into the bloodstream through tiny gateways in between the cells of the intestines. These are the normal openings that are always there. These tiny openings are just big enough for the good stuff, like the digested fatty acids, to pass through, and they act as a sieve for the harmful stuff. When the openings get bigger due to the damage to the intestinal walls, much like the holes in the balloon, and harmful stuff also enters the bloodstream. That's what leaky gut is. When the harmful components enter into the bloodstream, it can lead to inflammation and changes in the good gut bacteria. That in turn could lead to some scary chronic diseases. Reasons for a leaky gut. Many reasons could be behind this breach in the walls of our intestines. Let's discuss the most common reasons that can lead to leaky gut. The most common reason for a leaky gut is poor diet, particularly the American diet. Americans love their sweet stuff, like cookies and donuts. Such a diet, which is high in sugars and fats and low in fibers, can damage our gut lining. Genetics may also have some role to play in all of this. Sensitivity to certain foods, like dairy for some people, can also lead to damaging the gut lining. Stress can also lead to a leaky gut. There are stress hormone receptors in our gut cells. This hormone, called cortisol, can damage the tight junction between the intestinal cells. Finally, alcohol consumption can also lead to a leaky gut. Symptoms of a leaky gut. How to know if you have a leaky gut. We have put together a list of 5 most common symptoms, usually associated with a leaky gut, that can give you some clue. Number 1. Abnormal bowel activity. If you're having some trouble lately in easing yourself in the bathroom, and the whole process has become a lot more painful, then there's a good chance that you might have a leaky gut. A nice, normal bowel movement is a major sign of health. When there are some irregularities, then there is something wrong. One major sign of a leaky gut is to be experiencing abnormal bowel activity. This can include constipation, where the removal of your fecal discharge becomes a painful struggle, or diarrhea, where things flow way too smoothly than you'd like them to, or even bloating and gas buildup inside the gut. A feeling of pain in the lower abdomen can also signal a problem with your gastrointestinal tract. However, it is important to mention here that these symptoms are also linked with many other conditions, so the appearance of these symptoms can mean that you have a leaky gut, but not necessarily. Number 2. Autoimmune diseases. When the body turns on its own tissues by making antibodies against them, these are known as autoimmune diseases. But why would the body attack itself? Well, when we encounter a leaky gut, the undigested proteins, antigens, pathogens, fungi, and bacteria from food may get absorbed into the bloodstream. These large foreign invaders and large food molecules trigger an immune response in the body, and the body makes antibodies against them. Our internal tissues have the same kind of proteins and antigens as the food, so these antibodies can then attack the internal organs also and cause inflammation. This is what characterizes the autoimmune disease. Some of the autoimmune diseases include lupus, alopecia areata, rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, etc. For example, the inflammation of joints is called rheumatoid arthritis, and the inflammation of gut lining is known as Crohn's disease, so on and so forth. Number 3. Chronic fatigue. Feeling lethargic all the time? Maybe you're not taking care of yourself and are overworking. Or maybe a punctured gut is behind this. Studies show that there is a definite connection between a leaky gut and chronic fatigue. How exactly, you might ask? Well, there could be many reasons. The most prominent of them is the inflammation that is caused by leaky gut. It turns out that inflammation is linked to chronic fatigue. Then there is also the matter of lipopolysaccharides. Big word, right? To keep things simple, we'll just stick with LPS for now. The elevated levels of LPS in your blood could suggest that your gut might be leaking. And, interestingly enough, elevated levels of LPS are also linked with chronic fatigue syndrome. The correlation is clear as day. An important study on the subject found that once the LPS levels decreased, an improvement was also seen in the symptoms of fatigue, joint pain, and cognitive function. So before taking multivitamins, you might want to look at the condition of your gut first. Number 4. Brain-gut axis. A leaky gut can also contribute to several problems associated with brain health. The gut-brain axis is a booming field of research, and there is still a lot that needs to be studied. But the studies until now have shown some connection between gut health and the functions of the brain. Memory disorders like Alzheimer's and dementia are associated with the degeneration of brain tissue. This can be traced back to a leaky gut due to several reasons. Toxins that leak from the gut can attack the neurons, causing memory problems. The inflammatory reaction in the brain tissue due to an autoimmune disease of the brain could also lead to these disorders. Also, the changes in the gut microbiome due to a leaky gut can result in a disruption of useful brain chemicals and proteins that are secreted by the gut. Parkinson's disease is another neurodegenerative disease that can be tracked back to a leaky gut. One interesting correlation between a troubled gut and Parkinson's disease is the fact that constipation can be one of the earliest symptoms of Parkinson's disease. Mood disorders are also frequently linked with a leaky gut. Number 5. Skin conditions. Finally, a leaky gut can also wreak havoc on your skin. Healthy, vibrant skin starts from your gut. If the gut isn't in a healthy condition, no matter how expensive of a skin lotion you buy, it just isn't gonna work. Whatever is happening inside our bodies, it gets reflected on our skin. So, the signs of leaky gut can be seen on our skins too. Studies show that gut inflammation is usually accompanied by skin inflammation. This fact further gets established through a 2017 study that found that people who had rosacea had a higher incidence of gastrointestinal disease. Another study found that patients with inflammatory bowel disease may also experience lesions and other skin disorders. There's got to be some fire behind all of this smoke. Some of the common signs that can manifest on the skin as a result of a leaky gut include skin acne, eczema, and psoriasis, among others. How to heal the leaky gut. If you have one or more of these symptoms, you should get yourself checked for a leaky gut. If you get diagnosed with a leaky gut, then it is time to take some strict action. First things first, you need to change your diet, period. There's no way around it. More specifically, you need to eliminate gluten from your diet. Studies show that gluten can interfere with the natural permeability of our gut lining, thus can contribute to a leaky gut. Eliminating junk food goes without saying. You should also increase your fiber intake, as it is the food of our gut flora. Once you have dealt with your diet, only then can you move on to the next step, supplementation. Let's look at some supplements which can aid the healing process of our gut lining. Vitamin A and D. These vitamins are effective in healing a punctured gut, owing to their anti-inflammatory properties. Probiotics. Whenever gut health is mentioned, some probiotics naturally come into the picture. The simple equation of gut health is a healthy gut bacteria equals a healthy gut. Zinc. Zinc can increase the functioning of our gut's tight junctions. Thus, it is an effective supplement for a leaky gut. Notice that we have not recommended any specific supplements. This is because your doctor can give you a better judgment as to what supplements you should take and how much of it would be beneficial for you. Our job is to get you started on your path to recovery by educating you. Our guts play a much bigger role in our everyday lives than to just pass the food that we eat. A healthy gut can keep you safe from some serious illnesses. Most of the gut-related problems start with our food choices. Poor food choices make our guts vulnerable to damage, and that leaves your bodies unguarded against foreign invaders. So, before it gets out of hand, take the control of your life back into your hands and lead a healthy and happy life. We hope that you benefited from this video. If you did, please hit that like button and share this video with your friends and family so that they can find out about the leaky gut and if they also have some of the symptoms that we mentioned. Want to see more videos like this one? Please subscribe to our channel, Welcome to Wellness, and press that bell icon as well so you never miss another video. We'll see you in another healthy video. Until then, take care.